And we're live.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. Meteorologist Rebecca Sweet here. Hopefully you can hear me. We have a new microphone that we have hooked up to the phone. Shannon Smith is behind the camera. Say hi, Shannon. Come on over here.
Hi, everybody.
We just finished the morning show, and I did want to do a quick update on here, as I know a lot of people are going to have questions, so Shannon's going to try and fire some of those questions to me. Just giving you a fair warning, I know a lot of people are probably going to be asking about specific locations. There is a website, we have our website, but there's an article on our website that has everything you need to know, from the timeline to snow totals, questions about whether or not where you live is in a part of that horseshoe that we have across East Tennessee. If you have a little bit of a better opportunity for seeing some snow.
Hey, it's snowing in Wartburg right now.
Good. Well, that's what I was going to ask. Let me know what you're seeing this morning, because we've already had some folks let us know that they're seeing some snow flurries, which is so great to just kind of get some verification as to what is hitting the surface. So we've had some reports already from snow in Crossville. This was shared to us this morning. If you want to share your photos, that would be totally awesome.
Snowing in Oakdale.
Snowing in Oakdale, great. I heard in Fairfield Glade, I heard in Deer Lodge we have some snow. Rockwood, I think you just said, had some snow. So Wartburg, well, Rockwood earlier was getting some snow as well. So we are seeing some verification that what is on the radar is actually hitting the surface. And again, we are seeing that behind me right now with that snow in Crossville. Let's kind of talk about the big picture. So I'm thankful that we're seeing a little bit of some precipitation to start off the day. I don't think that it's going to stay as snow into the afternoon hours. Today isn't necessarily going to be a huge issue. We're going to primarily see a mostly cloudy sky. As you look behind me, we are watching this low pressure system that's going to be tracking in from, really what's going to be in the southwest. So this low is forecast to actually go just to the southwest of us, and it's going to hit more of Arkansas, Mississippi before traveling up into East Tennessee. As this low continues to push its way across the southeast, what we're going to be looking at initially will probably be just a variety of weather going into your Sunday, starting late tonight and then going throughout the day tomorrow. You notice that starting off tomorrow, models have been indicating that we will probably see, first and foremost, a mixed precipitation. Maybe a very cold rain in the Central Valley. Higher elevations will have a slightly better opportunity of seeing some sleet, or maybe even transitioning into snow as we go throughout the start of your Sunday. So Sunday, for the higher elevations, the horseshoe counties, there is going to be a better opportunity for snow. Again, as mentioned, into the afternoon and evening hours, it's the lower elevations where we're probably going to have the potential of seeing mostly cold rain, maybe some sleet, and then maybe transitioning into snow as we head throughout the night. I don't want to promise you folks that it's going to be a snow event. I think that's what everyone gets in mind when they hear winter weather. It immediately goes to snow. We are going to have a variety of weather, and this is where it gets tricky. In the Central Valley, I hate to say this, I don't foresee this adding up to a whole lot. With that being said, because if we have rained on the ground, the rain's not going to be freezing immediately. It is likely going to sit there, and it's going to make everything really wet. So if we see snow even after it rains, more than likely we're going to see that snow mix into what is already going to be some of the wet surfaces. And so it's just not really going to look super pretty. At least this is what I'm predicting. It's not going to look super pretty across some parts of the valley. And I'm really speaking to you folks who are going to wake up Sunday morning or Sunday night or going into Monday morning, and you're going to be upset because you're not seeing a whole lot of snow. It's you folks who will message us that I'm talking to. You may not see some snow, but then there's other parts of East Tennessee that we're expecting to see maybe 4 to 6 inches plus across the higher elevations.
I'll tell you, Morgan County's really chiming in here. Lansing,
okay,
Wartburg, actually Rocky Top too, saying it's snowing flurry.
Where's my photos, folks? You can talk all you want, but I want to see it. I want to see what's happening across your area. Again, if you have a dusting on the ground, let me know. I want to see those photos, because that is just going to help us verify our forecast even more. It's going to give us more confidence as to what we're expecting. So again, say all you want, share your photos. I want to see them. I posted a photo right underneath this on this weather page of snow in Crossville, and so just let us see it. You know,
you're about to go into one of the questions I'm getting the most here.
Yeah.
Where is it going to hit the most? And
okay.
You're talking about the plateau.
Let's go into it. Let's talk about snow. I lowered the snowfall totals in the Central Valley, and I'm really talking to areas Blount, Knox, maybe Loudoun County. it's those folks that I think we're going to have a couple of upset people. Because remember last Thursday when it had a cold rain all day? I mean, our whole weather team was like shot down all day. We said that we were going to see close to about an inch of snow. It just didn't happen until later on in the evening. That's probably going to be the case for us again as we go throughout the day tomorrow. But like this morning, there is the chance that we may see some of that cold air actually make it down into the valley, and we could see some snow. So I think personally, I'm going on the lighter end. I'm going on the end where I just don't see a whole lot in the Central Valley, but there's going to be a dramatic change from what happens in the valley going up into the higher elevations. So if you live in the horseshoe counties, and I'm going to show you those really quick. If you live in the horseshoe counties, there is going to be a dramatic change from even East Cumberland County to West Cumberland County, or maybe Southeast Morgan County going into Northwest Morgan County. The higher up that you go, the better the opportunity you will have to see more snow. And we're going to have a wide variety of snowfall totals across the area. So let me just go back to this graphic. Let me show you really quick what we're expecting for snow. And this may change, folks. This may change. Cassie might come in tonight. Models change a little bit. Maybe we may see some of that colder air moving in a little bit sooner. And we may actually bump these back up. But I just think to be on the safe side, I've lowered them just a little bit, and just primarily for the Southern Valley. Highest elevations, the Smokies and the Plateau. Wouldn't be surprised if we did see close to 3-4 inches widespread, with some areas looking at close to 5, 6, 7 inches of snow. Northeast Tennessee, the closer you get to Morristown, the Tri-Cities, I have right now 1 to 3 inches of snow. I also think there's going to be a wide variety in what we see further to the northeast. And I actually think across the northeast, it may not be necessarily what happens tomorrow night, but more so what happens with that wraparound snow that we could have going into Monday morning. So it might just take a little bit longer. Just bear with us, folks. I think everyone's going to have the chance to see snow. I know you're all excited.
Paula said, don't let the haters get you down.
I know. I don't. I appreciate all input, all sides of it, but I just want to make people happy, and I can't promise you something that may not happen. And I know, trust me, my kids love snow just as much as your family does.
Do you want to reiterate real quick? A lot of people are asking their specific cities. Tell me where to find them.
Yes, so we have all the information over on our website, WBR.com. There's a full article. Now, we're not going to go into the specifics about your city. If you have an issue locating where you live on a map, feel free to message us. I'll help you locate it. But you could also Google it on your phone or on a computer. But if that's something that's an issue, again, reach out to us. But we're not going to be able to answer 50 questions about snow in a specific location. And on the same note, I don't want to focus too much on just snow. I want to focus on the impacts that we're going to be having. Most of the main roads that I've noticed are all pre-treated, which should be fine. But the issue is if we see a lot of rain before we have the snow, that pre-treatment's not going to do a whole lot if it's washed away. And so that's going to be a concern as we go into your Sunday night and into your Monday. If you're heading out of town, travel plans today, you're going to be fine getting out of town. Coming back Sunday into Monday will be an issue. So roads are going to be an issue. Wind chill values will be an issue. It's going to be breezy tomorrow with winds coming out of the southeast to start off with. And we're going to continue to see wind chill values in the 20s. Let's talk a little bit more about the watches, warnings, and advisories that we have in place. We have a winter storm watch for areas shaded in blue, winter weather advisory for areas shaded in purple, and then a winter storm warning for areas shaded in pink. I wouldn't necessarily focus too much on the colors and what they mean. It's basically the National Weather Service taking all of the snow, taking all of the types of weather that they're expecting, applying it to how this could impact travel, and then they kind of put this out there as a heads up, as a warning for how difficult travel could be. And you notice, what does it look like? It looks like the horseshoe, kind of what we've been talking about, how the higher elevations will have a much different forecast than what we're going to be seeing in the Southern Valley. Also, interestingly enough, I saw this in the discussion, and they did end up issuing a high wind watch for the Smokies. There is the potential above 4,000 feet that we could have blizzard-like conditions throughout the day tomorrow. That's where we have blowing and drifting snow, zero visibility in some spots. And so they're expecting winds coming out of the southeast up to around 45 miles per hour sustained, gusting up to 60 miles per hour. So a high wind watch is going to be issued from 7 a.m. tomorrow through 7 p.m. tomorrow night. They did just issue that.
It's not everywhere.
Not everywhere, just across the Smoky Mountains. And then we continue to die down as we go into the rest of this work week. So that's kind of a quick look at your 7-day forecast. Might see a little bit more precipitation by the end of the week, maybe more flurries.
We're invited up to Caravel. Apparently turns into a winter wonderland.
Ooh, send me photos.
Becca, let's also talk about, people are wanting to know about how this is going to impact. I know we just talked about it.
Yeah.
Road conditions and what kind of time frame we're looking for that.
Okay, so let's kind of talk quickly again one more time about forecast snowfall, because I think this will help when we talk about road conditions. I don't think, I want to make a comparison to a recent system that we just had. Remember the first one that we had last Monday? So this was about a week ago. That was a morning event, and so that definitely impacted roads much snow. And that's what brought down all those trees, power outages in Sevier County. This is also going to be a pretty wet snow because it's coming in with that moisture moving in from the Gulf. But with this one, I don't expect there to potentially be the quickness, the intensity that storm last Monday had. I think that this one is going to be an ever-changing storm. I think it's going to be one that brings in a variety of precipitation types, and a variety of precipitation types that will likely change throughout the day tomorrow. So with that being said, I think tomorrow we might start off with a mixture of rain, a mixture of sleet, a mixture of snow, and then as we get closer to daybreak, it may turn over to rain, and then we may see another cold wave move through the area where it transitions back to sleet and snow, and then as that cold air moves into tomorrow night, we see everything turn into snow. So if you don't have to be on the roads tomorrow, thankfully this is happening on a Sunday. Don't be on the roads, folks. Stay home. You can watch church from your computer or your phone and just, catch up on some of the things that you have to do from home. But I would just strongly encourage, even though they have the roads pre-treated, it's not going to be a day that you do want to be out on the roads. Shannon, what other questions do we have?
So we're still getting a lot of specific questions about
where
locations. Everybody is, locations, yeah. It is snowing like crazy in Lansing right now. We've been
Ooh.
hearing from people in Morgan County.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, I want to see if we have any photos.
Yeah, go ahead and check.
I am checking really quick.
Also, Lake Tansy is apparently getting a little bit of a flurry right now. It is spitting snow in Petros.
Petros, okay.
And that's also in
That's
Morgan
also
County.
where my in-laws live. I feel like I should message them and be like, what are y'all
send me some
seeing?
pictures.
No one else has sent
Yeah,
pictures
and I think
yet.
a lot of people are talking to, like, hey, we don't mind if it's going to snow as long as, we keep our power. Because that was a big problem in Sevier County last week.
Okay, so the only snow that I've seen so far has been in Crossville, and it's actually a really nice snow shower that moved through Crossville.
Yeah.
Someone just sent another video of that. Beautiful snow.
Yeah, if you guys are watching, here's a good question. Are the roads going to be okay for the Lady Vols game at 3 o'clock tomorrow?
Oh, is that, who asked that?
Who asked that? It's not our sports team.
I know that, but there's always one viewer on here who asks about the Lady Vols game, and I love their devotion.
Oh, I don't know. Oh,
So
Brian Roberts.
Yes, Brian, great question. I have no update on the Lady Vols game. I think you asked that last Thursday too, and I was like, gosh, I have no idea. I think they're probably going to make it hit or miss. I have no idea what they will do to that game. Road update though, I can say it'll probably just be gross to be out in. No other way to describe it. It'll just be a nasty day tomorrow. So if you want to go, and if they still have the game going on, by all means, go and cheer on the Vols. But just drive safe, drive slow. If you're doing a long distance travel, maybe book a hotel room in Knoxville and just stay the night somewhere close to this to the game.
So Becca, can you talk a little bit about your predictions? Because people are citing other weather models that are showing like 5 inches in the valley.
100%. Okay, so yesterday the graph, one model showed 10 inches of snow in Knoxville.
That is very different from what we're seeing.
Yeah, I'm leaning on this side of what could potentially happen. And I don't know about you folks, but I guess personally, I would rather expect something a little bit smaller and then maybe get a little bit more and be excited about it. I don't think we're going to see 10 inches of snow in Knoxville. If we do, I will be completely shocked. And that would be just a bust against everything that we've been focusing on. The National Weather Service has a forecast very similar to this. They've actually bumped down their numbers from what we had yesterday as well. And we may end up bumping up these numbers again. But what I'm thinking about, folks, is even if we see some snow on the tail end of this system tomorrow night, with the grounds already being wet, we're going to have some very quick snow moving in to overtake the wetness that is already in place. Because you have to think, once that snow falls down and it's hitting the puddles, it's hitting the ponds, it's hitting what is going to be just a soggy day tomorrow, a lot of that snow is going to mix in and it's just going to become like a slushy, sloppy mess. On top of that, we may start to see some accumulating snow, but it's going to take a nice quick round of snow to overtake the wet roads that we have in place. Thinking back to the Monday, the first snow event that we had here in East Tennessee, that happened. I was driving in it. It came down so fast and so quickly in Sevier County that even though the roads were pre-treated, even though the roads were wet from rain that had moved through, the snow bands were coming down so quickly that I could not see anything. And so I'm not saying that's out of the question for some areas across East Tennessee. I'm trying to speak to some of those folks who are wanting 10 inches of snow. I don't necessarily think that's going to be the case. And so if that's what your models are showing you, and I know we have people on here that want to give their own input, by all means, go for it. I think more information, the better. But this is just kind of our understanding of what is going to happen. And Cassie and I are going to be talking this afternoon. Our full weather team is going to be talking and seeing if we need to bump up these numbers. But I really think for areas south of I-40, I expect it to be more of a really cold rain, sleet, maybe transitioning into snow by the end of the night. The further you travel north, the better you do have an opportunity of seeing some snow. The further you travel into the higher elevations, the better opportunity you have to see snow. Moral of the story, folks, is this is happening on a Sunday. If you don't have to work, if you can work from home, if you don't have to be anywhere, just don't be it. Just don't push it. You know, there's really no reason to get out into this sloppy weather unless you don't have to. So, yeah, I know that models might say differently, but there's also people that post models for systems that are 20 days out, and they say we're going to have the blizzard of 93. Not necessarily going to be the case all the time.
I think the last thing just to touch on, Becca, would be even if we don't get snow, it's going to rain.
Yeah, it's just going to be a gross day.
Everybody's going to get something.
Everyone is going to get something, and that's a great note, Shannon. So Shannon, if you didn't hear her, she said everyone is going to see something, and I do expect everyone to see snow. Everyone will see snow tomorrow. I would say especially the further you travel north. The biggest question is how much will it stick? How much of this will turn into accumulating snow? That's where we're going to have some variety. And the biggest reason why we're having some variety is the tracking of the low, the warm temperatures that could happen from downsloping winds. And also just really how long is it going to take for that cold air behind this system to turn everything into snow? So a lot of variety in this forecast, folks. If you've lived in East Tennessee long enough, you know how difficult it is to forecast snow here, and have patience with us. I mean, we're trying to get this just as right as you are, and hopefully this is how the forecast turns out tomorrow. But we'll be updating this throughout the day. We'll be updating as need be. Our full team is going to be on this as we go throughout the day tomorrow. But I think if anything, just stay at home, stay put, share your photos, share your information with us, and continue to follow us.
Also want to give a shout out to people who are saying they've adopted their pets from Miami.
Oh.
They are not used to the cold weather. I feel that I'm from Florida.
Okay. I was like, what? Where is this coming from? Awesome. Well, thank you guys for being so understanding. I mean, there's a lot of viewers on here who are giving just like great input. And I promise you, we are trying our best to give you the best forecast. It is a difficult one here considering the topography, the plateau, the Smoky Mountains. And so we're just trying to give you exactly what we expect to happen. And I just, in comparison to a recent event, this would probably be closer to what we had last Thursday. It's still going to impact the roads. I still think it's going to be a sloppy, gross, nasty mess, and that's going to last throughout the day tomorrow. But send me your photos today if you do have some snow moving in this morning. I would love to see that. Thanks, everybody.